overtaking Jerry, Tropical Storm Jerry, we're speaking about. And as we welcome back Orvin Page, climatologist, meteorologist. Orvin, quite a lot to talk about in relation to this one. You made it elusively clear earlier. Preparation is the buzzword, the key word, not panic. So no need to rush in the supermarket, certainly not based on this current forecast track. What more can you tell us about Jerry?
It's so good to be back with you, Garfield, Nicola, and all of you joining us here at ABS Television. Just to tease that we are looking at all of the movements of Tropical Storm Jerry. There's a lot to unpack. Good, relevant, timely information for us to have a safe experience as we monitor and as Jerry would pass us over the next 24 hours. You need to stay with us right after this break. And welcome back. Taking a look at the Tropical Storm Jerry, the 5 p.m. position puts it at 14.8 degrees north and 54.7 degrees west, just about 432 miles to the east-southeast of Antigua and Barbuda. Jerry moving towards the west-northwest at 23 miles per hour, with peak winds of 60 miles per hour over the last 24 hours. Rather interesting developments with Jerry. Jerry entered pretty much into a hostile environment, and with its fast west-northwesterly motion of 23 miles per hour, it really encountered some shearing which disrupted its vertical structure, making it out of alignment with that vertical structure necessary for an organizing storm to gain further organization and even strengthen. So as a result, we saw some retarding of the organization of Jerry. Something else to notice from this satellite graphic, you will notice that the low-level center started to emerge from the bulk of the convective activity. It really meant that the low-level motion is faster than the mid and upper level of the system, which really is accounting for the shearing. All in all, it means that Jerry is not gaining the organization that we once anticipated, which is good news for us here in Antigua and Barbuda. Here's another piece of good news. It continues to track on a west-northwesterly direction and is expected to come within just about 60 to 100 miles to the northeast of Antigua and Barbuda, as you will see from this particular graphic. Here is Antigua and Barbuda. The worst case scenario is for it to pass to the northeast of the islands. The most likely scenario still to the northeast, and so this is what we're expecting. You will also note that at 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, we expect Jerry to be closer to the area, but by 2 a.m., some 12 hours, it is already past the islands. This is also good news for us here in Antigua and Barbuda. So let's talk about the impacts quickly. Tropical Storm Jerry, Tropical Storm Watch in effect, which means that tropical storm conditions are possible. We have to make allowances for that because anything could happen. We're not seeing anything erratic about Jerry, so we are in good position based upon what we have been observing so far. Winds up to 45 miles per hour in gust, with the thunderstorms are likely. Rainfall totals of 1 to 4 inches between tomorrow afternoon, when we expect the bulk of the showers to begin after the workday, and sometime on Saturday, when we expect the general cloudy conditions to begin to abate. We could see between 1 and 4 inches. Flash flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas are quite possible. So if you're in an area that you know it is susceptible to flooding, and once the showers particularly begin to fall, you may want to make that decision early enough to ensure your safety from possible flooding in your area. And of course, the seas are going to be deteriorating anytime after midday tomorrow. And so mariners, please stay in port. And it's not a good time to go to the beach late tomorrow afternoon and all of Friday. Once again, Jerry expected to maintain tropical storm status, becoming a hurricane sometime on Friday, well to the north of the area, and remaining what we call a fish storm, remaining over open waters, not expected to impact any land mass. What are we saying? No need to panic. We do not want persons to be panicking, flooding the supermarkets, no pun intended, so that you are using up resources that could be allocated for other important things. This is most likely to be a rain event rather than a windy event. We could see some winds, but in the thunderstorms. Now, I know the Utilities Authority and the Utilities Company, APOA, are concerned about possible power outages. Those disruptions are possible, but we have to wait and see. But what we do know from this point, we're expecting more rain than winds, which could really be good for us because we are looking at possible drought conditions over the next couple of months. So we come on back home. Today, we had some cloudy spells with some showers across Antigua and Barbuda, got to a high temperature of 91 degrees Fahrenheit, and the winds out of the east-southeast. We'll see generally an abating of the showers that we saw today before we see another round associated with Jerry. So tonight, only around a 50 to 60% chance of showers. The winds out of the east-southeast, and a low temperature around 23 degrees. Tomorrow, we expect to see generally partly cloudy conditions for the most of tomorrow. We expect to see schools going on. We expect to see a work day normal. But then at the close of the work, they will begin to see the clouds rolling in, and the chances for showers will heighten tremendously. Showers and thunderstorms likely. The winds are going to shift towards the east. Sunrise and sunset times are here listed. You will also notice that the showers would likely continue and then improving by Saturday and Sunday. So if you have activities planned, the forecast is good for those activities on the weekend, particularly Saturday and Sunday. The winds are going to continue from a southerly regime, and notice that they're not expecting much temperature, high temperature to be above around the mid-80s with the passage of Jerry. Mostly cloudy conditions for Friday, improvement again, and the high temperatures will return around Saturday. So sea conditions between 5 and 10 feet, mainly after lunch tomorrow. We want mariners to stay in port. The winds are going to be out of the east. We are committed here at your weather headquarters, ABS Television, with the Met Office, ensuring that with the passage of Jerry, you stay safe as we continue. Inform you that as the weather becomes the news, as it breaks, we're here to stay with you all through the passage of Jerry. Garfield, Nicholas, back to you.
Thank you so much, Owen.
Attention to the National Hurricane Center's homepage. Let's give you some perspective as to where Tropical Cyclone Jerry is right now. We're in the Leeward Islands, islands further towards the south, which include Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago. You're looking at the Caribbean Sea, the Northern Atlantic Ocean. So in the context of where Tropical Storm Jerry is right now, we're looking at it right here. It's not way outside there. It's very close to us, just about 750 miles east-southeast of the Leeward Islands, and just about a little less than 500 miles or so towards the east of Barbados. But nonetheless, you're seeing where Tropical Storm Jerry is right now, and is forecast to move out very close towards the Leeward Islands during the next 36 hours. But I'm going to be unpacking a lot of details with respect to where it's at. So let's get right on to where it's at. Take a look at this shot. It's what we call the visible satellite imagery. It gives us really a close-up view as to what Tropical Storm Jerry is doing and its structure. Now, it's really in an environment that we call upper level shear, and the upper level shear is actually ripping it apart. Take a look at this picture. You would have thought that the center is someplace inside this cloud mass right here, but take a look at where the center is. You're seeing this swirl of clouds right up here. There is where the center is. The winds in the upper level of the atmosphere is just pushing all this cloud towards the south on the southeastern leg of the tropical cyclone. So all these clouds right here are producing considerable amount of rainfall and wind gusts, particularly out into the northern area. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to give you some perspective as to the structure of the storm, so as I go forward, I can develop what is forecast to do. So again, take a look at the center right here. All this area is the broad circulation. We're looking at the northeastern end right here. We're looking at the northwestern end. This is the southeastern end, and all these particular clouds right here are clouds that are associated with Tropical Storm Jerry. Again, in it, a lot of considerable amount of rainfall, gusty conditions mainly out here, and we're going to be focusing on this particular area and along with this particular spot right here. The reason why is because hardly any wind is in this general location, and as it moves on towards the west to northwest, this is the area that Antigua and Barbuda, the rest of the Leeward Islands and the islands of the Eastern Caribbean islands will be perched in. So most of the windy conditions will be over the open waters, and we will be in what we call the most sheltered part of the storm. So we're not necessarily looking for significant wind impacts, but yet there are some gusty conditions for us to talk about. At 11 a.m. this morning,